Right, hello, lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where today we have a bit of transfer news, we have a bit of pre-season news, we're going around the news, and we're just going to cover a bunch of little stories that I thought would interest you guys for a solid 10 to 15 minutes. Before we go any further though, thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel recently. It's been great, we're doing well. I'm trying to, just try and help support the channel. We're doing great. We hit 3,000 subscribers. It's a great milestone. And yeah, so if you guys are enjoying the off-season content, leave that like, leave the subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Ko Itakura and Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Two names linked to Celtic very early on in the transfer window and previously to the transfer window. And, well, Celtic were reportedly poised to sign at least one of the players and to come as a centre-back for depth, as Celtic have been reportedly interested in bringing a centre-back to the club. Now, reports have emerged overnight here in Australia. Yeah, so they emerged overnight in Australia, so they were late in the evening for you guys. Yesterday, I believe, that's how the time zones work. I always get a bit confused with them. Regardless, though, it looks like Celtic have fallen down the pecking order for both Itakura and Harwood-Bellis. Now, we'll start with Ko Itakura, and we all know the situation with him regarding Schalke. We all know what sort of player he is. So there's no point me waffling on about how amazing of a fit he'd be at Celtic, because a report has emerged from Sports Illustrated that Borussia Mönchengladbach now lead the race for Itakura's signature. Now, it doesn't say Celtic are out of the race, but merely it's indicating the fact that Mönchengladbach and other favourites and Celtic have hence fallen down the pecking order. Now, we all know that the transfer news and players signing for clubs can change in a heartbeat. They can change in a couple of hours. One player can be reported going to one club and, hours later signed for another. Riley McGree. Anyways, I wouldn't say it's dead in the water right now, but certainly it is disappointing that Celtic have fallen behind for a player who I think, I didn't want to say it, but I do believe he would fit into Celtic perfectly. He is a ball-playing centre-back, great cover there, and he's also a great CDM, so he's the ideal replacement for Nir Baton. So we'll have to see if there's any further advancements regarding Mönchengladbach or any other clubs who come to the fore for Itakura, but we do have to remember, he even said himself in an interview he was flattered with the links to Celtic, so obviously he knew that we were interested in him. So that maybe it's on Celtic's part, who knows, we'll have to wait and see there. And on to the other centre-back, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, a prospect from City, a player for the future. Celtic were rumoured to be interested in bringing him down to the club on loan for a year, but Celtic have now, like Itakura, fallen down the pecking order and are behind Burnley, who are surprise favourites. Now, I do say surprise, but that is when you see it on the face value. But when you look into it, really, it makes a lot of sense that he'd go to Burnley, I think they've just let go of their two main centre-backs, Ben Mee and Tarkowski, I believe. And then, he gets to stay in England, play in a familiar environment. He'll be guaranteed a starting role there, but most importantly, and the icing on the cake for Harwood-Bellis, is probably the appointment of Vince Kompany as manager. Now, Kompany is also a former Man City centre-back, so he already knows the ins and outs, right? But he was also previously the manager of RSC Anderlecht in Belgium, and he actually signed Harwood-Bellis on loan for Anderlecht when he was manager there. Now, you can see the appeal straight away for a young player, young centre-back like Harwood-Bellis, to link up with a former manager to go play in a system where, he understands the manager's play style and where he is comfortable, and in an environment he is comfortable in, So am I shocked that Celtic are no longer favourites for Harwood-Bellis or for Itakura? No, not really. Not entirely. Am I disappointed though? Slightly. Just a little bit. But am I annoyed? Not at all. Because we're still so early in the transfer window. I think that's the main thing that people are forgetting. We have, all these rumours coming out that Celtic are unrealistic in some, but realistic in others. But we're so still early in the transfer window. We've got so much time to make deals happen. We've got over 2 months to do things, And look, if Ko Itakura and Taylor Harwood-Bellis go their own directions, I'm not fussed, because as we all know by now, Ange will have already searched the whole footballing world. He would have looked in every nook and cranny for the right players to bring to Celtic, because at the end of the day, you can be a good footballer, but if you haven't got the right mentality and the right attitude to play for Celtic, well, then you're going to be no use to Ange. So yeah, on to now some pre-season news, and we're going to take a step away from all the speculative news of transfers. Actually, I tell a bit of a lie because there is a little hint of speculation in this video, which you guys will see in a second. Now, anyways, regardless, Celtic have officially confirmed our fixture list for pre-season. 6 fixtures all across Europe, some at Paradise, and a wide array of opponents. Now, as seen on the graphic on screen, you can see our fixtures begin on the 6th of July in Austria. Then we have another match on the 9th, also in Austria. Now, the teams for these matches have not been confirmed, but it's safe to say, and here comes the speculation, so warning here, I'm thinking that it will be against lower tier Austrian teams. I think it's most likely that because it's the first games back for Celtic, we will verse an opponent with not as much quality as Celtic, and for our opponents, they will relish at the opportunity to play against a club as big as Celtic. So yeah, so expect some, not nobody Austrian teams, but teams you probably haven't heard of before. So yeah, for those 2 matches. Then we travel to the Czech Republic on July the 13th to play in a centenary celebration match against and for Baník Ostrava, in which Lubo Moravcik will be in attendance. So for that match, it's the centenary match for Baník Ostrava, but we are also versing Baník Ostrava, if you can understand that. Following this, the boys will fly back to Glasgow to play Blackburn Rovers on the 16th of July at Paradise. Then we have another flight back to Europe to play against Legia Warsaw in Poland. Then finally, we end our pre-season campaign against Norwich City, who have been actually just recently relegated from the Premier League, but this is at home at Celtic Park 1 week before the Premiership begins. And looking at all these fixtures on screen, you might ask yourself, if it's pre-season, or is it the months of October and November where Celtic play 3 matches a week? But the positive is that it will prepare the players for intense demand on their body, and, obviously nothing, there's nothing that can prepare a player for Champions League football, It's one of those events that, it's just, no matter how many first top flight matches you have, how many professional matches you have, nothing will prepare you for your first ever Champions League group stage match. It's something special and it's something extremely intense. Now, going back to the fixture list, however, for pre-season, now specifically for pre-season, especially considering the opponents we have are not all, they're not Champions League caliber teams, but they also aren't all nobodies, They're teams that will certainly give Celtic a run for our money if we do not, play proper football, if we take it easy and take it relaxed. And the club has also confirmed that all the fixtures will be featured live on Celtic TV, which I have to admit is an absolute scam. I hate Celtic TV, I can't lie. I think it is completely overpriced for what you get with it. So we're not going to get into that now. Anyways, especially for someone living overseas, the fact I say that, it speaks leaps and bounds about the streaming service and what there is to improve there. But Premier Sports have also confirmed for anyone who pays for their paid subscription will also be able to watch the Blackburn, Legia Warsaw and Norwich City games not for free, but watch them live. So yeah, that's the age of streaming services in a nutshell. Call me an old head, but I despise them. I wish all the matches were just in the one spot. Champions League, pre-season, cup matches, league matches. I wish they were just all in the one place again. For any of you Aussies out there watching, I remember the good old days of Setanta Sports. That probably unlocks a memory for you guys. Setanta Sports was what it was hectic. I love those days. Anyways, yeah. To sum up, the pre-season matches, I think they're great. I don't think they're televised great, but I do think they're great for Celtic and great for the squad, and a great. I think the consistent travel is a great preparation for the players heading into what is going to be a jammed-packed football season. But that is all from me. So if you guys did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave in the comments below what your thoughts are on the Taylor Harwood-Bellis and Koei Takura situations, and also what do you think about pre-season. But yeah, that is all from me. So until next time, hail, hail.